Back in 2020, when I wanted to buy my first Kindle about 4 years ago now, I wanted to make sure I was buying the latest and greatest model. So I went to Amazon's website to do some research, and I was actually really confused. I found out pretty quickly that Amazon does a terrible job at labeling their Kindle Generations. Normally when you're buying tech, it's pretty obvious to know which one is the newest one. For example, the iPhone 15 is the current model as of right now. Last year it was the 14, the year before that it was the 13, and it just makes a lot of sense. With Amazon and their Kindle lineup, their numbering system makes absolutely no sense. Today, I'm going to focus on all the current Kindles that are for sale right now and give you a brief overview of the Kindle generation that it falls under and also what I anticipate Amazon will be doing moving forward. Right now, if you go to Amazon's website to buy a Kindle, you're going to find about 7 different Kindle options for sale. We have the Kindle Scribe, the Kindle Oasis, the Kindle Paperwhite, the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, the Kindle Paperwhite Kids Edition, the regular old Kindle, which is also known as the Kindle Basic, as well as the Kindle Basic Kids Edition. Now, naturally, you would assume that all the current Kindles for sale would be the same generation, but that actually isn't true. We have a mix of 3 different generations being sold right now, and even those numbers don't make sense. Let me explain. First, we have the Kindle Scribe. Now, this came out in late 2022 at the end of the year, and is actually being labeled as a first generation product. What I think is happening here is Amazon is making a clear distinction with the Scribe. It is not part of the normal Kindle lineup. It is meant to be a distinct Kindle lineup, which is why it's getting the first generation tag. This is very similar to how the iPad is a different product than the iPhone. They're very similar at the end of the day, but they are still different products, and I think the Scribe is going to continue to follow a completely separate generation numbering system than the regular Kindles. Next, we have the Kindle Oasis. Now, the current Kindle Oasis that's for sale is technically speaking a 10th generation Kindle. Now, to me, calling this a 10th generation Kindle makes no sense, so for the purposes of this video and my own understanding of it, I recommend ignoring that number completely. A better way of looking at it is to look at the year the Kindle came out, as well as how many Kindle versions of it were out before. So for example, the Kindle Oasis for sale right now is actually the Kindle Oasis that came out in 2019. And before that, there were 2 other Kindle Oasises that came out. We had the 2017 model as well as 2016 model. Because of that, we sometimes see the Kindle Oasis being referred to as the Kindle Oasis 3 because there are 2 other Kindle Oasises that came out before the current model. Now, even though right now it's 2024 when I'm filming this video, the Kindle Oasis that's for sale is still from 2019. There was no changes made since that year. Now, I've talked about this at length in my previous videos. I don't know if we're ever going to see a Kindle Oasis 4 ever come out in the future. The 2019 version might be the last one. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on to the Kindle Paperwhite, the current Kindle Paperwhite that is for sale is part of the 11th generation of Kindles. Now, again, if you were to ask me, I would ignore that 11th generation numbering system completely because it doesn't really make much sense for the Kindle Paperwhite. Now, similar to the Kindle Oasis, the Paperwhite has had several different versions of it come out over the past several years. The current Kindle Paperwhite came out in 2021, but before that, there were 4 other versions. So the current one that's for sale, the 2021 model, is actually the Kindle Paperwhite 5. Now, a pet peeve of mine is seeing Kindle Paperwhite videos come out today or last year even, and people labeling it as a 2024 Kindle or 2023 Kindle. That is very misleading because the Kindle Paperwhite has not gotten a refresh since 2021. The only exception to that was some new colors that were released last year, but that does not count as a new Kindle model. Now, the Paperwhite has 2 special editions associated with it. We have the Kids Edition, which is a bundle package with some kids features. I have a whole video talking about that if you want to learn more about it. Interestingly though, Amazon also came out with the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, which is a new thing they've done. I've never seen this in any other Kindles before. If you're watching this, you probably already know that the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition is basically the same Kindle as regular Paperwhite with a few extra bells and whistles. It's not that different besides wireless charging, an ambient light sensor, some more storage, and no advertisements. Now, if you ask me, I think the Paperwhite isn't going anywhere. I have a hunch that a new Kindle Paperwhite 6 will be coming out in the future at some point. We're not too sure clear what those features will include, but there's also a good chance that they'll update the kids model as well as the signature edition alongside the Kindle Paperwhite 6. The last Kindle in the lineup right now is the regular old Kindle, which I like to call the Kindle Basic. This is also part of the 11th generation of Kindles. Now, the current Kindle Basic that is for sale came out in 2022, and out of all the Kindles that are called 11th generation, I think this one makes the most sense to be called the Kindle 11. Now, the Kindle has gone through so many iterations over the years. The first one came out back in 2007, so there are a lot of Kindles out there, and I do think calling this the Kindle 11 makes the most sense out of all of the Kindles available, but if you ask me, again, I prefer calling it the Kindle Basic 2022. Now, if you found this video interesting, I'll leave 2 links down below for some resources to dig more into Kindle history and all the Kindles that exist out there. It's quite fascinating if you want to learn more about that. Or if you're in the market for a new Kindle, here is a video on the screen right now to help you choose which one is best for your reading needs. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.